It's time to get chatting with these guys. The top news stories. Giles and Sonia are joining us to discuss all those top stories.
They certainly are. We're going to start off with the sad news that Dame Maggie Smith passed away last Friday. And you actually got an interview with her.
I got an interview with her. I was lucky enough to know her over many years.
Right.
An extraordinary career, 70-year-long career.
Amazing.
Began in 1952, and here we still are. And yes, I knew her because she was a great friend of Kenneth Williams. I was a friend of Kenneth Williams, and she was a very private person, you know, didn't let many people in. And I was lucky enough, because she loved Kenneth and knew Kenneth and I were good friends, she said, well, let me into her life. And in fact, I think this was the last interview that she gave a couple of years ago. Yeah. And she was actually talking about how, at the beginning, she owed so much to, of all people, Julie Andrews. You were on Broadway 1954, 55, 56, around then?
56.
56, on Broadway.
Oh.
But a chit of a girl, 21, 22.
It was ghastly.
Why was it ghastly?
Well, because, well, first of all, I wasn't really paid very much. And so it was, in fact, I think it was $60 a week, which even then was sort of really, and I'd been booked into a hotel, which of course I could not pay for. And but I was rescued by Julie Andrews.
Rescued by Julie Andrews, who is your heroine.
She really, really is. I mean, if I was going to be rescued by anyone, it would be
Well, it's a generation of extraordinary people. In the corner there was Kathleen Turner.
I know.
They became great mates, which is why we got Kathleen Turner in on the line. I mean, she was an extraordinary phenomenon. And what we forget now, because we remember her through things like Downton Abbey, Gosford Park, all the later work, is when she was a girl...
Harry Potter. Yes, no one delivers a line like
as a witch. But as a girl, she was incredibly beautiful. I first saw her on stage in 1961. Gosh, look at her. And she was just gorgeous.
Look at her eyes.
And she was at the National Theatre with Laurence Olivier in the early 1960s. And I think that's in Private Lives. Look at how beautiful she is. She was a sensational actress. And the reason that I think we will not see her like again is she belonged to that generation who began in repertory theatre.
Yes.
She was a stage actress, and then she got into movies. She really could do it all. And she had a unique temperament. And I think to be a star, there has to be something special about you to make you stand out from the crowd. Yeah. And my goodness, her unique
I just loved her on Graham Norton when he asked her about Downton Abbey. And she said, oh, I'm glad it's over. And he said, have you ever seen any of them? She went, no, absolutely not.
But
I've got the box set.
Listening to Brian Cox was chatting with Ed and Susanna this morning, talking about, you know, an actor that had a huge back catalogue of incredible roles, and then suddenly you get a role that makes you sort of a household name, not just a name, but a face. And that, for him, it was Succession. But for her, Downton Abbey, Harry Potter, as we were talking about.
Well, it's different generations, isn't it, have engaged with her differently over the decades of her work. So there'll be a lot of people, you know, younger than me, who know her primarily as, you know, Harry Potter.
Yeah, Mrs. McGonagall.
Whereas for me, it really, she's so Downton Abbey to me. And, oh, my God, those lines she used to deliver in Downton Abbey, just the driest, wittiest, funniest lines you've ever heard.
I just remember the one that she did, which was one swallow does not a summer make.
Well,
it was so
Julian
good.
Fellows, who writes Downton Abbey, said to her one day, I'm writing a marvellous scene for you, Maggie. And she said, I hope it's a death scene. I mean, she was very, very dry.
Brilliant.
Indeed. But she was lovely. Some people found her a bit forbidding. She was lovely with the young fans, with people who came up to her in the street who'd seen Harry Potter. She was always very, very sweet with them. She loved her grandchildren. Great lady.
Fondly remembered.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.